All right, good morning, good afternoon, good day, good night, whatever time of the day it happens to be. In this video, I'm going to just very briefly talk about the next speech assignment, which is going to be the informative speech redux, or going over your informative speech a second time to take it from how you presented it in that face-to-face classroom setting and transform it to be presented in a online digitally mediated fashion. So I'll talk a little bit about what I'm hoping to do in the assignment, get into some of the specific assignment details, and then let you know where you can submit everything in there. So overall, the main goal of this is to give us a chance to practice speaking in a digital environment rather than the face-to-face classroom. I think one of the greatest challenges of this whole switch to online teaching is that we just kind of got used to the classroom environment, speaking in front of all of our classmates, and suddenly that's ripped out from underneath our feet, and we're kind of in this entirely new situation where we're speaking online, potentially just like to a camera, which is completely different. So I wanted to create this assignment as sort of a low stakes way for us to get some entry into that, but not necessarily to the, necessarily full 250 points of the policy speech, which will be coming up a little bit later. Additionally, one of the other goals is to take a earlier speech assignment that we've already done and revisit it now that we've had a little bit more time, practice, and experience just doing some speaking anyways. The informative speech was kind of early in the year, and so now that you've had more speaking experience, potentially just a little bit more time to work on it, I think it's a great opportunity to revisit some work that you've already done and continue to work and refine it. On that same point, I think it's a great chance to take any feedback that I may have given you, or maybe any comments that you got from your peers on that first informative speech, to then go back and edit and improve it on the same content itself. And then finally, just purely pragmatic, this is a chance for us to kind of test that online Canvas submission workflow. So if you have not yet gone through that, how to upload a speech document, please go into the previous module and read through that. This informative speech redux is going to be an opportunity for all of us to kind of troubleshoot any issues that come up with that, again, in a lower stakes environment rather than something like the policy speech, which does have a lot more points kind of riding on it. So as far as what the actual assignment logistics are going to look like, what you're going to do is take your informative speech, so the same topic, same outline, same everything, and what you're going to do is recreate that speech and adapt it to be delivered in a digitally mediated fashion. So this is not just, standing in front of a camera and recording the speech. You might have to reorganize some certain things, explain things in more detail. Depending on the visual aid that you are using, you might choose to not use a visual aid at all in this speech, actually, and only focus on the sound of your own voice in the video of it. So whatever you did for your informative speech, it's going to be the same topic, but you can revise the speech as you need to so that it'll work best for a digitally mediated platform. So for that, I recommend you fully read through Chapter 17. I've also uploaded a couple of sections from another public speaking textbook which talks about online speaking, which I think could be useful. And then, of course, also take a chance to look back through that lecture video that I had uploaded from the other module as well, where I'm talking about digital speaking environments. In your recreated informative speech, shoot for 2 to 5 minutes. That's a little bit of a wider window than we had on the original assignment. And again, that's just because depending on your topic, depending on your speech, you might choose to edit it or revise it in a different way to work best in this digital fashion. So I'm going to give us kind of this broader window to work in here. Because you're using the same topic, the same speech that you did for the informative speech, you don't need to re-upload the outline. You don't need to write a whole new outline for me. What I'm really trying to do here is to give us some initial experience for the entire class to record a speech video and get that uploaded to Canvas and kind of test out what that all feels like and troubleshoot from there. The one thing that will be a little bit different after you upload your video to this Canvas discussion post, what I'd like you to do is write just a brief reflection, just a couple of paragraphs kind of talking about what this experience was like, recreating the speech, how it differed from the face-to-face to the digital section. I'll touch on that in just a moment, what that actually looks like. The main thing to note is that this will be due April 10th at 11:59 p.m. There'll be a Canvas discussion post linked in this module and also just on the discussions page itself. So either upload the media file, post a link to a YouTube video, or somehow otherwise get that accessible for everyone to see. This entire assignment is going to be worth 50 points, so less than what the original informative speech was. And really, what I will say, this is just a chance to troubleshoot the upload techniques and get us kind of a feel for this digital environment. So as long as you are, one, completing the assignment, and two, kind of completing this reflection in good faith, you're probably going to get the full 50 points on this. For that reflection, pretty straightforward. All it needs to be, like I said, pretty brief. Let's say 250 to 750 words. I'm not going to count words. Obviously, if you only write, 3 sentences, that's not really going to work. But, just a couple of paragraphs. Try to get at some of these questions here. What was it like recreating your speech that you had already done and already delivered? Like, what did it feel like to even go back onto it? What changes did you have to make when we switched from face-to-face into this digital environment? And for that, I'd like you to talk about some specific changes. So if you chose to do a different attention getter because you couldn't ask the audience a question, if you chose to change your organization, if you chose to change your visual aid, be pretty specific in this reflection. And then finally, I just want to know, do you prefer online or face-to-face speaking? Kind of what do you think about some of those differences there? I'm not going to be super picky, but please do proofread for spelling, grammar. Just treat it as if you would any other college assignment writing. And that'll get uploaded to Canvas. There'll be a separate assignment turn-in separate from the discussion post. And so collectively, the speech video and the written reflection will be that full 50 points. Online on Canvas, on the description for this assignment, I've uploaded a rubric that I really encourage you to look through so you can kind of see what the breakdown for all those points are going to be. For this assignment, like I said, my hope is that it'll be something pretty low stakes, nothing too complicated or hopefully not too daunting, and really is an opportunity for us to kind of reset on the semester in a sense, get a feel for what it's like to do digitally mediated speaking rather than face-to-face speaking. So it should be pretty low stakes, hopefully nothing too complicated. It's pretty open-ended as far as what direction you want to take it in, but as always, just like it was before the online teaching and how it will continue forward, if there's ever questions, comments, concerns, anything you're a little unsure about or just want me to take a look at, please feel free, shoot me an email, get in touch with me on Microsoft Teams through my Colorado State email address. I've got my virtual office hours. Really, whatever I can do to help you is going to be important to me. The last thing that I just want to make a quick note on, this is separate from this speech assignment itself, is just a quick note on the class quizzes that we have. So quiz number 3, which everyone should have turned in, I believe, a week ago, that's going to be our last quote-unquote content quiz, where we're really getting at specific textbook content or course materials. What I'm planning on doing is we'll still have quiz number 4 and quiz number 5, but they're just going to be more of like reflection questions, kind of feeling out how things are going in the class. So what that means is that these final 2 quizzes are essentially completion grades, so as long as you do them, you'll be getting the full 25 out of 25 on them. The reason I'm doing this is just with the transition to online classes, I know there's 1,000 things kind of changing. It all feels a little uncertain or unsure of how things are proceeding, and rather than have, kind of these smaller assignments that we might kind of feel this extra pressure to study for, or really feel like, oh, I've got points writing on this, I want this to be kind of one less thing for you to have to worry about. And so I'm going to keep them as a way to just kind of check in, make sure that how you're feeling about the class, answer any questions you might have, but really these 4th and 5th quizzes will just be completion grades. And so just keep an eye out for those on the course schedule when those come up. The one thing to keep in mind is that I will still drop your lowest quiz grade overall out of the 5 of the entire semester. So just know that for 4 and 5, as long as you do them, you'll get the 25 out of 25 on them. So that might be some extra incentive to just get those taken care of to kind of help erase maybe one of those earlier grades in the semester. Okay, that's all I have for now. As always, please don't hesitate to reach out if there's questions, comments, concerns, and anything that I can do to help make this class go smoothly for you. Thanks.